Good evening. I pray that you're in good spirits when you watch this video. It is Friday, October the 1st, and I'm praying that y'all all have a great week and a phenomenal month. And I came on here today to talk about parenting from my point of view. And you know what that means when you say point of view. That's just my opinion, my view, my perspective, my take, just the way I see things, the way God has developed my mind to see things. So it's not the way that you would see things, but it's just something I wanted to talk about. And you can interject, you can leave a comment. We can agree disrespectfully. We can agree agree to disagree respectfully. But we don't want to do any ugly stuff like bashing or being nasty. So the title is Parenting and Relationships. Okay, what age did I become a parent? I became a parent at the age of 20 with my first child, whose name is Joshua. He is 26 years old. I became a parent a second time at the age of 27 with my daughter, Gabrielle. So I have two children, a beautiful, handsome king and a beautiful, sweet queen. So I have a king and a queen. That's cute, a king and a queen. Two for two, two for two. And guess what? I've only been pregnant twice. So guess what? I came here today to talk about parenting and my perspective. Okay, the reason I just brought this topic up, and I said, well, let me talk a little bit about parenting. Everybody raised their children different. That's what my mother told me when I was young. She said, Tasha, everybody raised their children differently. Some people let their children have a boyfriend at 16. Some people say no. Some people let their children go on dates. Some people say no. Some parents let their children wear lipstick or makeup at an early age. Some say no. Some people like to have a lot of company at their house. Some people don't want their kids around a lot of people. Some people let their kids spend the night off. Some people don't. Some people let their kids maybe cuss or express themselves in a aggressive, disrespectful way. Some people say, nope, you can't say anything. So everybody raised their children differently. Question number one, did I have help? Yes, I had help with my children. Well, I'm going to start with Josh because Joshua was the firstborn for 8 years. I had help with Josh. I had help with him from my mother and from a neighbor. And that neighbor has passed now, but I had help. Yes, I did. My mother helped me the best she could with Josh. Now with Gabrielle, did I have help? I had more financial help with her. Not a lot of babysitting because she was up under me. I didn't work. I worked a little bit, but I didn't work a lot. Challenges as a mom. Okay, my challenges with my son. My son didn't talk till he was 4 years old. He is autistic, we believe, undiagnosed. So we believe he's autistic. But they gave him the diagnosis of ADHD when he was 8 years old. He didn't talk till he was 4. So we think that's like a misdiagnosis because he had more symptoms of autism than ADHD because his case was severe. I'm going to say that. And I had a lot of challenges. Because keep in mind, I'm only 45 years old right now. My son has suffered a lot. He has been, held back in the first grade. When he went to pre-K, the teacher said, oh, I don't think he's ready for preschool. And I got mad, offended at the time. Because, sometimes when we're being told certain things or being rebuked or corrected or been told things we don't want to hear, sometimes we can get offended or feel like people are coming down on us, but that's only because of how you perceive things at the time. Because it's a lot of times that people tell me things and I might get offended, but sometimes I blow stuff off. So it's just the way you perceive things at the time. And sometimes you can go back to those things that people try to correct you on or come down on you about, and you can say, oh, you know what, she was right, but at the time I didn't see it. Because it's just whatever you see at the time. Y'all, I just had some spicy pizza, so excuse me. Did I eat the whole pizza? No. It's in the refrigerator and it's spicy. Ooh, it's hot. It got my tongue. My mouth still burning from that pizza. No, I didn't cook the whole pizza, Gabby. So, so that was the challenges that's with my son is because The teachers would complain about him having behavior problems. They would complain about him being disruptive. They would complain about him having outbursts. They would complain about him not doing his work and his grades were low. He did basically poorly in school. So he failed the first grade. He was diagnosed with ADHD at 8. So that was challenges. And then, I had behavior concerns. He usually didn't get along well with others. So that was a problem that we had to endure. And, as a parent, I didn't know what to think or what to do. I just went based on looking at other people, the way their children were. This is all new for me. I don't know anything about ADHD. This was in 1985. This stuff is just coming about, which my mother told me later on. They've been having children like this. It's just people didn't know what it was. She said they just threw them like in a, I'm using this word, y'all. I don't like this word, but I'm saying what they say, a crazy place, and just left them there and left them. I don't use that word crazy. I don't use crazy, slow, dumb, retarded. Them not the words I use because that's very offensive to me. But they threw them in like a place. But I didn't have that option. So I had I didn't have the little bit behavior problems here or there, or light behavior problems, or how some people say, well, my child listens well, they're very respectful, they don't give me any problem. That's not my story. I mean, I just wish it was my story. I was talking to my neighbor the other week, and she was like, I say, did you have problems with your kids? And she told me, she said, no, they didn't give me problems. I said, oh, well, lucky you. I didn't have that story where I didn't have problems with my children or with my child. I had challenges. And, I just said, well, let me come on here today and talk about parenting. And like I said, my mother did what she could. She worked. My neighbor would keep him. But I had challenges with him. His dad was absent. So I didn't know what to do. Keep in mind, this is new for me. It's not like I'm skilled with working with children who have, I'm going to call it developmental concerns or things going on emotionally or chemical imbalance. I don't know how to deal with that. I don't work at a hospital, so I never knew what this was. Because when I was a young child, I did not get many whoopings, and I didn't get scolded a lot. I started rebelling more when I became a teenager. So I didn't know what it was like to deal with a child who has behavior and anger and emotional and just a host of problems. So it was new for me. So I had many challenges with my son. Fast forward on to Gabrielle. Did I have challenges with her? Gabrielle, pretty much, I didn't have to whoop Gabrielle a lot or chastise her a lot. She was okay. Now, as a teenager, of course, she has like a little snappy attitude sometimes and a smart mouth. I don't know. She got that smart mouth from somebody. I wonder who. But she has a smart mouth sometimes. And I'd be like, girl, if you don't beat. So she has a smart mouth. She might be like, oh, mama, oh, or this or that or whatever. But I'm not saying she perfect. She not perfect. But she have an attitude. But Joshua was more aggressive and violent and everything. And then he would have fights in school. Gabrielle never had fights. Joshua did. And I love both of them the same. Now, it's more challenging for me dealing with my son because he makes life more challenging and difficult for me. So it's more challenging dealing with him. Okay, it says right here, where did I grow as a parent? Okay, I'm going to tell y'all. As a parent, let me tell you where I grew at. This is one point where I grew, worrying about people's opinion. That was one area that I grew in. Worried about people's opinion. Number 2, doing what's best for my children. No, I'm going to cancel that. I'm not going to say that. Number 2, being prayerful. I wasn't really prayerful back then as much as I am now. But number three is doing what's best for my children. For my children. Number 4, talking to my son more. No, listening to my son more and talking as therapy. Using the talking as therapy. Okay, number 5, being more affectionate. Lord, y'all, this makes me want to cry. Being more affectionate. I didn't know how to nurture him and love on him, because I didn't understand his behavior. So it made me be like, oh my goodness, oh, back. It was kind of like back, give me 50 feet with him, because I didn't know how to handle a child that was having behavior concerns, aggressive. He wasn't nonverbal until he was nonverbal until he was 4. But so number 5 was being more affectionate. So those are the things I wish I could change. I'm going to say it again. If I were, where did I grow from as a parent? Worrying about people's opinion. Number 2, being more prayerful. Number 3, doing what I need to, doing what God tells me to do. Okay, number 4, listening more and then talking. Number 5, being more affectionate. Because I really feel like I didn't show Josh enough affection, because I was so busy looking at, it's kind of, and then, being embarrassed. Sometimes I feel like I was embarrassed because of his behavior, because a lot of times he would get in public places and just talk loud and be aggressive and have tantrums, and I kind of was embarrassed and I didn't know how to handle it. It's like, as I've grown, this is where I've grown as a parent. Now it's like, I only thing now I can do is just apologize, ask for forgiveness from him. But now I can move forward. It's like, now, this is what I can tell everybody when it comes to your children. You cannot worry about people's opinion. That's one. Be prayerful with the raising and rearing of your kids the whole time. Doing what's best for your children. Listening more. And I'm going to say talking less, but still talking. 5, being more affectionate. And I'm going to say 6, being more involved. Being more involved. And the reason why I said it, because I really could have probably had a better relationship with my son if I would have did those things. But at the time, I didn't know. But now I've grown. And so that's where I've grown as a parent. Now I don't care like that no more about worrying about people's opinion. I would do what I need to do for my children. I will pray more. I will listen more and talk less, but talk still. Be more affectionate. I was always involved with them, so I had to learn and grow. Now with Gabrielle, the challenges with her as a mom, okay, she taught me how to be more affectionate, because she used to hug me and just make me hug her and love on me. And so that's what made me kind of be more affectionate. That's why her and I click more as far as the affection, Don't love her more. I'm going to get that straight, because people think I do. But we click more because she just used to love on me. She didn't care. She used to come and hug me and grab me. She didn't care. And that's how I open up with hugging and all of that. But where did I grow from with her? I'm going to say this. I ain't gonna just put it out there. But sometimes when she would do stuff like, she'll be in the hallway and she'll be talking about me. She'll just say, yeah, she make me sick. And I'll say, you little... I ain't gonna say it. So I grew from that. Before you know it, I've been and went off, because she just be doing the most, acting up, saying crazy stuff with her mouth, just talking foolish. And so I had to bridle my tongue with her, because she a girl and she had a smart mouth. So I grew with her though, because with her, she's the one really that pushed me into wanting to start into get into business. So that's where I can say I grew with her. Wanting to get more into business, wanting to push more for my family, wanting to fight more for my family, want to be consistent with things, just want to do a lot of stuff, like just getting on the internet, getting on social media, getting more vocal. So I grew as far as from trying to be in my shell and trying to hang out a lot and party a lot. So I grew from the party lifestyle more to a reserved lifestyle, because I come out the party lifestyle. I know I look like I'm a little princess, but no, I come from the partying, just turning up, not really drugging, but just partying, hanging out, talking noise, jaw jacking, just, how they say, just hanging in the hood. So she made me want to get more from that and pull away and get more into being more conscious of growing intellectually, growing more about what's going on in the world, growing, reading books, growing, looking at different motivational videos, growing on being self-improvement, And both my kids tell me to grow as far as getting back in church. Where it says, where did I grow from? I wasn't going to church that much when they were little or younger. And as I got older, I started going to church more. Where are they now? My son, y'all, still standing in need of prayer. I can't go into detail, but he needs prayer. We're still believing in God for his healing and his deliverance. Have he gotten better? I'm going to just say this. We still have challenges. And I'm praying for a breakthrough and for deliverance and healing for him. Where's my daughter now? My daughter is a senior in the process of graduating next year. She has several goals with attending school. She, of course, desires to start business. Well, she has a business, but to grow in business. She already has said that school don't teach them nothing. They don't teach them how to start businesses. They only tell them to go to college, and she doesn't want to acquire debt. So I understand that. So she's more on, I want to start business. I want to do this. She wants to start an organization for the homeless. For homeless and mentally ill, because my son struggled with homelessness and mentally ill. So she wants to do that. My son, where he is now, like I say, he says with his mouth he wants to do better. And right now, I'm going to tell you this, we're being prayerful and hopeful. I believe God is going to bring him out. I can't give up on him. I'm praying that God would just heal this family and deliver this family totally, because I believe God is a miracle worker. Don't ever think I don't. I talk about God and I know what he can do. He's a miracle worker. Just the fact that I'm on this video right here. He's good. He's better than good. He's been there to keep me through everything that I ever went through, that I ever experienced. He's good. So, and it says, where do I expect to see them? I expect to see my son walking in the ways of the Lord, healed, delivered, and set free. I expect to see my son taking his story and going and impact other people his age, going to lay hands and deliver other people, prophesying and speaking over other people's lives. I expect to see my son doing big and mighty things in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. That's why I expect to see my son. Because he is the head and not the tail. He is above and not beneath. He's first and not last. He's part of a chosen generation. So that's where I expect to see my son Joshua Howard. I expect him doing things in the name of the Lord. And I know this is just from Satan trying to keep the family down. But God is going to use this to catapult us to where we need to be. Where do I expect to see my daughter? Doing the work of the Lord, going to impact her peers, doing great exploits, speaking, because she has a great speaking voice, also like her mother. I'm claiming that. I might not speak like some people think I should speak, but I speak how God, the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, created me to speak. So I expect her to, I know that's why I expect to see her doing that, having multiple businesses and going to help different organizations. She has a philanthropy, her and Josh both have a philanthropy and a humanitarian spirit on both of them. So I know that they can make it happen. I know God's going to make it happen. And I just came on here to try to talk about parenting, just a little insight into my life. I'm not just going deep to the nitty gritty. I mean, because y'all know people have challenges, and social media is just not the place where you just want to let everything be out in the open. But these are some challenges that we had. And anybody who watches this video, everybody have challenges. Let's get this straight. So, social media, YouTube, whatever, because I'm going to upload this video. Everybody have challenges. Don't let them fool you. We can all put on airs on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and be like, hey, here go my Rolex, here go my watch, here go my Gucci, here go my Fendi, yeah, we all can act like we got it going on, but at the end of the day, we could be over there struggling, going through, depressed, oppressed, about to kill ourselves, some people, giving up on life. But those are the challenges I had as a parent. And y'all know, I don't know why, this is how young I was. I just thought, oh, this is going to be the perfect life. I'm going to raise my son. I'm going to raise him to be a good young man. Life didn't go like that. Excuse me, I don't know why nobody warned me. I just really thought that. I really needed help. I was really lost. I thought, I'm going to raise him. He's going to be phenomenal. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. He's going to do, he's going to just listen. He's going to obey. I'm going to teach him the right thing. I'm going to teach him about morals and ethics and respecting women. And, because I know the neighborhood we grew up in, all them guys was disrespectful. I'm gonna be honest. So whoever watched this from the hood, yeah, a lot of y'all was disrespectful. You was disrespectful. So I just know I was thinking I'm gonna teach him to be, a good young man. It didn't happen like that, but it was all for the good of the Lord. Romans 8:2-8. Because guess what? If it was not for the challenges I went through with my son and relationship problems, I probably wouldn't even be here today to give y'all this message about parenting. If it was not for the challenges as a parent, I would not be on this video today telling you anything. I wouldn't even be giving you a word because I'll be thinking I'm in Beverly Hills. I'm in Beverly Hills. I'm living a lifestyle of rich and famous. So I would have no need to come on here and tell you anything if I had it made in the shade. But since I didn't have it made in the shade, guess what? I had to come on here and tell you a little bit of my story about parenting. And yes, parenting can be challenging. It can be difficult. It can be hard. Sometimes you can feel like you want to give up. Sometimes you can feel like you're hopeless. Sometimes you can feel like you're destitute. But at the same time, we have to push. And then I was raising 2 children on my own because both of the fathers decided, okay, that was it. That was a wrap. They wasn't trying to be a part of these children's life like that. Gabrielle's dad is in her life somewhat, but I mean, he's not just really there. He's doing his own thing. But you know what? God, when I say God has kept us, oh my goodness, God has been here with me and my children through the struggle, financial struggles, health struggles, family chaos and drama and confusion. But you know what? But God. And I just declare and decree that anybody who watches this video, start praying over your children. If you some young people watching this, if you like 19 or 20 and you got a baby, if you like in your 20s, anybody in their 20s who watch this video, if you have any little kids, I'm talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, any age, start now praying over your kids. When I say, if I would have known that, if I would have had somebody come and just say, Tasha, come here. Let me tell you what's going on, what you're doing wrong. I know you're hurting. And they would have spoke a word. I probably would be a better then, but I guess it just didn't happen. I didn't start turning around, y'all, till I got in my 30s. That's when I had my aha moment, when I said, you know what, I'm tired. I was like, I'm tired, Lord, of my son with this chaos and drama in my house and with the family. And I said, God, help. And that's when I wrote a letter to God, and I told him I wanted to go to church more. And I started going to church more. That was like 2009, 11. But anyway, I started going to church more. So when I started going to church more, God just started unveiling some things. He started just working on me. He's still working on me. Because, I'm a sinner saved by grace. I mean, I am. He's still working on me. He was working on me then. And he's working on me now. And I'm just grateful for the opportunity to share a little bit of my story with y'all about parenting. But if you're a parent out there, start praying over your children. Now lay hands on your children. Cover them with the blood every day. Plead the blood of Jesus over them from their head to their foot. And put the full armor over them. And speak life into them, not death. I don't care if they're running amok, acting a fool. It's a lot of times my son been acting anything less than kind. And it's like, even if they acting a whole fool in these streets, you still have to say, no, you are not that. That's a spirit in you. And you need to rebuke that spirit or cast that spirit out of them and tell him or tell her you are a queen. And that's how you go act. You are a queen. That's how you go act. And you need to act as such. You're not acting like a queen right now, a king right now, but you a king. And you need to take up your priestly authority and act like a king and walk in your kinghood. Walk like a king. So, for all the parents who watch this, start praying over them children, encourage them. Because we are the only blueprint they will see. And my son seen me doing a lot, which was partying, drinking, hanging out. Now I'm not perfect, but I still try to live. I'm really more to myself than being or hanging around a lot of people. But my son, he's seen me do a lot of that. So, I don't know if that made him be disrespectful, but parenting, like I said, y'all, it can be challenging. But the main thing you need to do is make sure you're praying, taking them to church. No, church cannot save nobody, but church can be where they get their foundation and their teaching. Pray and ask God to lead you and your children, if you're a single mom, to the right church. Because our churches out there I can't explain. They're not perfect. They won't be a good fit. So you have to pray and ask God what church is a good fit. And sometimes you have to visit several churches to find the church that's best for you and your children. That's what I would say do. But you really have to keep them in church. Pray over them. Speak the scriptures over them. Because it is challenging. The stuff that I know now, I wish I would have known then. But by the grace of God, he still have us here. We still believing in full manifestation for some things we want to take place in our family. And we believing in God for it. We are standing on his word and believing in his promises. And I just encourage you parents to keep fighting for your children and don't give up. Be encouraged on today. Keep the kids in prayer and love on them. Kiss them. Goodbye.